Streaming live every Friday night, it's Street Talk with the Swift Gang, right here on GoHamRadio.com.
Has everybody just got it? Okay, I guess we're all live now. If you're just tuning in, I'm not quite sure when you started tuning in. We must have had some technical difficulties. Thank you for being here. We just kind of went down with a rundown of the weather and of the events. A quick rundown is it's going to be hot. We're going to have a heat wave. It's going to reach up to 93 degrees on Monday. So make sure that you have your sunscreen. And then by Halloween, it's going to get down to the 70s. So make sure you do bring a jacket when you go out in your little sexy outfits and things like that. This weekend, if you do want to dress up, you can dress up with your dog. On Sunday, they do have a Halloween event at the Midway District. That's going to be from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's free. There's also a Halloween adoption where you can adopt a pet on Saturday. That's going to be, where was that going to be? I'm sorry, I was kind of thrown off with this. Oh, it's going to be at the Grossmont Center. And then, of course, Santee's going to have their Over-the-Line tournament on Saturday. So make sure that if you do go out to Santee for the Over-the-Line tournament, that you're wearing your sunscreen, you have a hat because it will be hot. Bring lots of water. What else do we have going on? I think that's kind of a good little wrap-up of what we have. We do have TeTe Musica in the building. He will be doing a live performance. He brought his guitar, so he'll be playing that for you guys. We also have a video that you can watch later on of him down in Tijuana at the orphanage. He does some philanthropy work out there with the orphans. So it's great. We're going to have some more conversation with him about that, and he's going to play some music. He does sing in Spanish. He sings in English, does a little bit of rap, so we're going to get all of that from him lately. Vinny, is there anything that you want to Sorry, yawning. It's contagious. I hope none of you guys are yawning out there. It's been a long day. Thank you for tuning in with us. Why don't we... what do we got going on? Why don't we take a quick break while we get everything resituated for you guys, and hopefully you got your volumes up. You're sharing the show. Let everybody tune in. We're going to be having some music later on with DJ Roscoe. I'm Miss Fancy Pants. We've got Farg in the back doing the engineering. This is Street Talk with the Swift Gang right here on GoHamRadio.com.
You're listening to Street Talk with the Swift Gang.
Welcome back. This is Street Talk with the Swift Gang. I'm Vincenzo.
And I'm Miss Fancy Pants. Welcome back. This is episode 8 of Street Talk.
And tonight we have for you on our stream this segment a couple of great little things for you to watch. A really good film actually just came out. Netflix original. It is called, oh my God, it just escaped here. It's got Adam Sandler. It's got Ben Stiller, Dustin Hoffman in it. And it's really, really good. I watched it the other day and it just came out. Good Lord, why won't this? There we go. The Meyerowitz stories. I don't want to get
the Meyerowitz.
I don't know. I'm not Jewish. I can't pronounce it.
Meyerowitz. Meyerowitz stories. The
Yes, and it's the story about two sons who vie for the attention and love of their elderly father, who is an artist. Dustin Hoffman plays the father. Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler are the brothers, and the acting is really, really good. I know Adam Sandler has been considered one of the worst actors in Hollywood, or some of the worst movies in Hollywood. I happen to like all of his films.
Really?
He's really, really good in this film, so I strongly recommend it.
I didn't hear that.
Also just released on Netflix, it's a personal favorite, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Love that movie.
If you're not first, you're last.
Ricky Bobby.
So check that out this weekend if you've got absolutely nothing to do, or you're looking for something to do to kill some time. And that is our Stream This segment this week.
Oh, well, I might have to check that out. I love Talladega Nights. I've seen it a few times, so I do recommend that.
Got a lot of good responses for our recommendation last week, which was Medici, the story about the Medici family who ran basically all of Florence. I had a lot of people text me say, hey, great show. I think it's really good. Unfortunately, they haven't come out with season 2 yet, so sit tight because hopefully season 2 will come out soon.
All right, soon enough. That sounds like it'll be fun. Well, if you want to get out of the house and you don't want to waste your data plans, if you don't have that unlimited, I suggest you try and find a plan that does, so you can stream all of his recommendations while you're out and about. But for hitting the streets, I've got a few things you can do. First and foremost, here in San Diego, I don't know if you're familiar with AD Nightclub. It's going to be closed this weekend. I don't know what's going on or what the deal is, but the 20th to the 22nd, AD Nightclub will be closed. So if you're dressing up to go out, don't go there. Instead, why don't you go to Park where you can see DJ Mustard. He's going to be the featured DJ that night. Doors open at 8 o'clock, covers about $20. It's going to be a 21 and up event, but definitely dress to impress. Park is a great club. It's really big and spacious. It's the new remodeled old on Broadway. Did I say that right? It used to be on Broadway. They remodeled it, and now it's Park. So,
or on Broadway used to be Bank of America.
Oh, yes, it did used to be a bank. I remember partying in the vault down below.
Down below. It's probably still there.
Probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on Sunday, though, if you'd like to go to the North Park Observatory, really, if you have tickets, you can go. If you don't have tickets, don't try to go because it is sold out. You're going to have to try and buy some scalp tickets of some sort. But ASAP Mob is going to be there, so it's going to be ASAP Rocky, Ferg, 12E, Nast, Ant, and they're going to have Key and Cozy Boys. So it's an 18 and up show. Doors open at 7. If you don't have tickets, don't go. If you do have tickets, get there early. It's going to be a great show, packed. They can hold up to 1,000 people in that venue. So definitely get there early so you can get there and have an up close and personal show. Or if you want to have something big go on, you can go to Valley View Casino in Sports Arena Boulevard and check out Enrique Iglesias and Pitbull. Tickets start at $45, so you can go check them out. They're sure to give a great performance with their sexy Latin moves and bodies and all of that good stuff. So check them out. And on Tuesday, I don't know if you remember the group, but Hanson. Do you remember Hanson? That was from their debut album, Middle of Nowhere, and this year is their 25th anniversary.
They kind of disappeared into the middle of nowhere.
So what happened was they made their money off and their notoriety from singing before all the boys went through puberty. Once all of the boys went through puberty, they no longer sounded the same. So it was kind of tricky.
Don't put a square through a round hole.
It was kind of tricky, so I think they tried to do individual careers and branched out or something. Well, anyway, on Tuesday they're going to be they're going to be at the House of Blues starting at 8 p.m. You can check out tickets for them, and it's the 25th anniversary, so that might be fun. You can bop your way all the way to House of Blues and maybe back to your childhood. Kind of dates me, right?
Yes.
And then on Friday, next Friday, I know we're going to have our show, but if you're going to go out and not able to watch our show, you may go to, and this is the only place I'll approve for you to go, is to go to Flux. It's a 21 and up event, but it will be Rob Stone. He is a San Diego local. You remember Rob Stone, Chill Bill? That's his song. He's got a new album release party called, or his new album, which is called Don't Wait For It. The album release party will be at Flux. Everybody in the city is going to be there, so go out there, support local, support your own. Rob Stone, October 27th, he's going to be at Flux. Make sure you get there early, bring your ID, none of that effery, so you can get in the door, and it's going to be a great show. So make sure you do that. And that's all I've got hitting the streets, Vinny. So do you have something funny for us?
I do.
Oh, good.
It's a good one.
I'm ready for a good one. It's been kind of a rough week, so I'm ready for a good laugh. I want milk coming out of my nose type of a laugh.
I really liked my Yo Mama joke from last week. I don't think you cared for it too much.
Not really. I've never really been a Yo Mama fan.
Well, here we go. Here's a second crack at a joke here.
Okay.
So an American, a Vietnamese, a Mexican, a Brazilian, a Canadian, a German, a Turk, and a Russian walk into a fancy restaurant.
Okay.
When they got to the front desk, they were kicked out because they did not have a tie. Bum.
I was going to say they have a number of people, but I guess
They don't have a tie.
Oh.
None of them. So they were not allowed in.
Oh. Well, who does have a tie is my brother. He got engaged to his girlfriend, Meow. So shout out to my brother and his fiance. She is Thai. She's from Thailand.
Shout out to Sakuna's parents, whose mom's Thai and made
Really?
the most epic orange chicken in the world.
Oh, yes. Sakuna is in San Francisco, right? The Bay Area.
Somewhere. She might be lost in the woods somewhere up there.
I'll actually be taking a trip for the day to the Bay on Tuesday. So maybe I could meet up with her. Bring some orange chicken. We're hungry.
Right?
Yeah, I don't want to spend all my time looking for some good food. I'm going to have to Yelp the whole airplane ride there. Where to eat breakfast? Where to eat lunch? We're going to go to Fisherman's Wharf and have lunch before we head back. Yeah, it's overpriced, but
way overpriced.
we'll find somewhere. It's more of,
it's
sightseeing.
the touristy thing.
We're not going to buy any souvenirs or anything like that. Just take a lot of pictures.
There is a really cool store on the Fisherman's Wharf. You might like it. It is a all Christmas store. And they sell all sorts of ornaments and Christmassy things that are San Francisco-y.
So
you
might have to get like a ornament or something like that.
That's what I did this summer. I bought a family ornament for our travels to San Francisco to put on the tree.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, it was a pretty funny joke. I like that one.
Wasn't too bad.
It was
a little bit cleaner.
It was clean cut. I like that.
Cleaner.
Well, on my Say What segment, we have a riddle this week. Shout out to David Anton, who got it right for the second time. He's now won 2 prize packs, which means he's going to be getting a shirt and extra stuff along with coming on to the show and sitting in. You guys are going to be able to meet him later on a few weeks down the road. And so for my joke, if you guys get it right, or it's not a joke, it's a riddle or trivia. So if you get it right, you can email your answers to request@gohamradio.com, and we will check all the answers into the first person who gets it right. We will send a prize pack to you. We'll let you know that you've won, and then you can email us your address, and then we'll be able to send that out to you. So shout out to our prior winners. I haven't had a chance to send those out yet, but I've got everything packed up for you. I've just made a reorder of stickers, so we're doing good. Expect to have that in the mail soon. So for our riddle for the night, we have, are you guys ready?
Riddle me this, Batman.
Under pressure is the only way I work, and by myself is the only way I'm hurt. What am I? Again, the riddle is, under pressure is the only way I work, and by myself is the only way I'm hurt. What am I? Good luck. Send your answers to request@gohamradio.com if you do know. Vinny, do you think you know?
A pressure cooker.
No, but that's a good guess.
Yes.
So if you have a good guess, make sure you email us and we'll give you some shout outs. Is there anybody on our chat that we can give a shout out to right now?
TeTe Henriksen.
Hey, TeTe, he's in the building and on the chat. What's going on, TeTe?
Feeling great. What's happening, everybody?
Hey.
We have Anita Peak.
Hi, Anita.
Nufar Sharon. Griselda Jimenez.
Griselda.
And-
wait. What was it? Giselle? Wait.
No, Griselda? Griselda Jimenez.
Griselda Jimenez. All right. Perfect. Hi, Griselda.
Yes.
And is that everyone that's tuning in right now?
That is everyone who's tuning in right now.
All right.
So, Anita, I know you say you want to bring on some TeTe. TeTe will be on shortly. Just sit tight there, and he'll be on a little bit later.
Very shortly. What do we got coming up next?
We have DJ Roscoe playing some music. We're also going to have a sports rundown. Stay tuned to our PSAs because they're always good.
Yes,
they're always
they
very
are.
entertaining. And we will also have TeTe Musica on in a little bit. So you guys stay tuned. Hang in there with us. If you guys got any comments, any requests, anything that you want to chat with us, go ahead and chat with us live on Facebook.com. And you are listening to Street Talk with the Swift Gang live on GoHamRadio.com.
We'll see you in just a bit.
You are now tuned into the movement with Swift Gang here on Street Talk.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. This is Street Talk with the Swift Gang. I'm Vincenzo. This is my co-host, Miss Fancy Pants. We want to thank everybody for listening in. And now that we're back, let's get into our sports wrap-up, shall we? All right, so let's start off in the NFL. Last night, Thursday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs visited the Oakland Raiders in the Oakland Coliseum. Oakland squeaked away with a win, 31-30. Derek Carr led all passers with 417 passing yards. Kareem Hunt for the Kansas City Chiefs, 87 rushing yards. And Amari Cooper for the Oakland Raiders had a big day, 210 receiving yards.
Smoke must not have been too bad then in the air if they're doing pretty good at Oakland, right?
Nope. Everything was crystal clear.
Nice.
So this Sunday we got some great matchups for you. Tampa Bay is visiting Buffalo. That game is at 10 a.m. on Fox. Carolina at Chicago, 10 a.m. Tennessee Titans visiting the lowly Cleveland Browns, 10 a.m. on CBS. New Orleans at Green Bay. Green Bay struggling now because of the loss of Aaron Rodgers. He is done most likely for the whole season. Jacksonville is on the road at Indianapolis. Indianapolis still without Andrew Luck. Arizona Cardinals against the Los Angeles Rams. That's in L.A. 10 a.m. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. That is not in L.A. That game is actually in London. That is one of the NFL's London games.
Wow.
So you can catch that game bright and early in the morning, 6 a.m. Pacific time. New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins. Baltimore Ravens at the Minnesota Vikings. America's team, Dallas Cowboys at the San Francisco 49ers. Seattle Seahawks visit the New York Giants. Cincinnati Bengals visit the Pittsburgh Steelers in a great AFC North matchup. The Denver Broncos are going to be visiting the LA Judases at the StubHub Center at 1:25 on CBS.
My favorite team.
God, they're awful. I hope they just get their poop pushed in. Atlanta Falcons visiting the New England Patriots in a Super Bowl rematch. Those of you who watched the Super Bowl, Atlanta was beating New England 28-3 going in the third quarter, and New England came back and won the game.
Hey!
Monday night's matchup is going to feature the Washington Redskins and my personal favorite quarterback in the entire league, Kirk Cousins, against the Philadelphia Eagles and Carson Wentz. This week on a bye is the Detroit Lions and the Houston Texans. So that's our NFL report. Moving on to the NBA. NBA season just started. This Friday, tonight's matchups, Cleveland beat Milwaukee 116-97. Charlotte over Atlanta 109-91. Portland 114 over Indiana. 114 over Indiana, who had 96. Boston Celtics, who just lost Gordon Hayward, still beat Philadelphia 102-92. Washington over Detroit 115-111. Brooklyn Nets 126 over Orlando 121. Minnesota Timberwolves 110 over Utah 997. Sacramento 93. Dallas 88. Golden State 128 over New Orleans 120. And finally, the Los Angeles Lakers irked one out against the Phoenix Suns 132-130. Lonzo Ball leading the squad with 29 points. And that's our
job,
NBA.
Lakers. Nice job.
Now, on to the Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball playoffs. As you all know, the Dodgers last night beat the Cubs 11-1 to advance to the World Series.
Yes.
Dodgers are going to be playing in their first World Series since 1988. They are waiting to see who they will be facing. Is it going to be New York Yankees or is it going to be the Houston Astros? Well, tonight they both played. And tonight the Astros walked away with the win to even up the series at 3-3, forcing a Game 7, winner take all.
This is getting exciting.
Between the Yankees. So deep down inside, the inner baseball fan in me desperately wants a Dodgers-Yankees World Series, but I will take a very exciting Dodgers-Astros World Series as well too.
I mean, the fact that the Dodgers are there, it's either way, it's going to be good. Dodgers are there.
Since the Padres have been so bad the last couple of years, I've become kind of a pseudo Dodger fan, only because they've had so many so many former Padres on the Dodger squad. Not to mention Dave Roberts, who should have been hired as the Padres manager, ended up being hired as the Dodgers manager. I got a lot of fond memories of Dave Roberts when he was a player. So enough about baseball. On to college football. Right. Last night, number 25 Memphis beat Houston in a shootout 42-38. Louisiana played Arkansas State, and they mollywopped them, Arkansas State that is, 47-3. On to some top 25 matchups this weekend. This Saturday, we have Maryland visiting number 5 Wisconsin. Number 10 Oklahoma State Cowboys are going to the University of Texas. Then we have number 1 Alabama hosting Tennessee Volunteers. Number 8 Miami, go Canes, are hosting Syracuse Orange, who beat Clemson Tigers last week in a really, really big upset. North Carolina Tar Heels are visiting Virginia Tech. Indiana at number 18 Michigan State. Number 20 University of Central Florida is at Navy. We also got number 9 Oklahoma. Baker Mayfield and the gang are going to be visiting Kansas State. 1 p.m. on Fox. Fun little Pac-12 matchup, Oregon versus UCLA. Both teams very disappointing this year, but UCLA-Oregon always a kind of a fun game to watch. Number 16, South Florida is going to be visiting Tulane. Number 24, LSU at Ole Miss. Number 19, Michigan is going to be visiting number 2, Penn State in a fantastic old-school Big Ten showdown. There's going to be some serious playoff implications in that game, and as well as Big Ten championship implications in that game. My personal favorite for this week, number 11, USC. The Trojans are visiting my Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Number 13, Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. So we're going to be looking to take out the Trojans here. Number 21, Auburn is visiting Arkansas. Number 23 is at Baylor. San Diego State, locally, who has now dropped out of the top 25 after losing to Boise State last week, 37-14, is home to Fresno State this weekend. And finally, for our last top 25 matchup, Colorado is visiting number 15, Washington State. Hold on to your noodles because we have one sport left. It is now hockey season, and hockey season is in full force. Last night,
Go Gulls.
Boston Bruins beat the Vancouver Canucks 6-3. New York Islanders 4. New York Rangers 3. They win in a shootout. Nashville beats Philadelphia 1-0. Tampa Bay over Columbus 2-0. New Jersey Devils over Ottawa Senators 5-4 in overtime. Edmonton with Connor McDavid 2. Chicago 1 in overtime. Chicago stumbling out of the gates to begin the season. St. Louis Blues 4. Colorado Avalanche 3. Carolina Hurricane 2. Calgary Flames 1. Dallas Stars 5. And the Arizona Coyotes 4. Now, before we wrap up our sports, just a quick recap. As you can see, Miss Fancy Pants is wearing her Letterman's jacket from where she went to high school, from West Hills.
Scholar athlete.
She was a scholar athlete. Tonight is West Hills' homecoming.
West Hills.
West Hills, I know. That's me not going to the school, not knowing what to call it.
Basketball, I did track, I did some states, I did this, that. Look at that. We did
Look
this.
at that. Look at that. You got a couple of patches there. I like it. I like it. And I'm wearing mine because it is also Valhalla's homecoming. And
hey, Grossmont South champions. Look at that. You got a couple of patches too. What is this one?
Oh,
you were a scholar athlete as well.
Athlete. I was a Grossmont League champion in wrestling.
What is OL, over the line?
Well, you're close. Offensive line.
Offensive line, close. Yeah,
Yes.
Offensive line, number 52.
That's my number.
Oh, so there's your football, and then that's wrestling. And what's the other? What is that? Lacrosse?
That is lacrosse.
Valhalla has lacrosse?
They had lacrosse. They got it my junior year. No, they still have it.
Oh.
And the star represents that I was the captain for the team.
Oh, that's...
Both years.
I don't remember. I know I was captain of JV. I don't remember if I was captain of... I don't think I was captain of a varsity.
That is my one and only stamp that I could have. I was a captain of a varsity team
Look at
at
that.
my high school. I played lacrosse.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't have... What was on mine? I have...
You got track. I see the.
track and
I see
basketball.
Hermes' wings.
You know, I do have another slash for basketball. I remember I didn't get it put on.
Okay.
Because I did.
Because it costs $35 to put it on there, and you know what?
I don't know.
It's not that important.
I don't know. It was my senior year. I was kind of going downhill after
DGAF.
that.
DGAF. DGAF.
I was ready to get out. Who was I going to show it to, right?
Exactly.
So.
You know, and I haven't pulled this thing out until this year because I do coach high school football. So this week it's homecoming.
All right.
Now, here's the funny thing. Usually we play on Thursdays. Tonight, well, this week we did not play on Thursday. We played tonight instead. And this week's opponent, we played El Capitan High School, the Vaqueros, and they do not have a JV team. Now, the JV team usually plays before the varsity team every Friday night. And the freshman team plays on Thursday. And the freshman teams always play opposite of the JV and varsity. So because it's homecoming, we're obviously home for our JV and varsity. So this week we would have been on the road at El Cap. However, because El Cap does not have a JV team, they decided to move us into the warm-up act and have us play where the JV would normally play on Friday night. So we, as a freshman team, actually got to have a homecoming game.
Very cool.
Right, which
that's
is kind of rare to have.
Yeah, that's a very cool rarity.
Right. So we played tonight, and we won 14-13.
Hey!
Very, very close game.
Hey,
And
good job, boys.
we improved to 3-5 on the season.
Very cool.
So although it's not a winning record,
Hey, you improved.
We improved. So that's
very good. Good job, guys.
Now
with all the pressure of homecoming, and they came out with a win. It was close, but you held it.
They had to. Otherwise, nobody would. They weren't going to let it down for a whole year.
All right.
There was no way they were going to lose tonight.
Pressure.
Now, the varsity, I can't speak as well for them. I actually left the game at halftime, and the score was 31-7.
Well, they could be the comeback kids
They
like
were
the
losing.
Patriots, right?
They could be the comeback kids. And you know what? I have yet to check the score, but that's because I don't want to cry myself to sleep tonight.
Wait till tomorrow morning.
I will wait tomorrow morning so that this way I can cry myself to sleep for the whole day.
You can cry yourself for a nap.
So that is our sports wrap-up. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Stick around because we're going to come back with TeTe Musica.
Yes,
we're going to
we
start our
are.
interview and start talking to TeTe. But until then, watch some of our PSAs and also listen to our fabulous in-house DJ Roscoe. He's going to be spinning the ones and twos for you and giving you guys some great music. So thank you guys all for listening to Street Talk with the Swift Gang. I'm Vinny Cenzo.
I'm Miss Fancy Pants.
And you're listening to GoHamRadio.com.
You are now tuned into the movement with Swift Gang here on Street Talk.
Welcome back to Street Talk with the Swift Gang. I'm Miss Fancy Pants, and we are in episode 8 here with TeTe Musica. Welcome to Go Ham Radio and Street Talk. Why don't you say hello to the audience?
Hola. It's so great to be here, especially being friends for so long and coming back to this. Yeah, I love being here. So welcome. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This is going to be fun because I get to play live music, talk about kids, be with good people, and it's everything I'd want on a Friday night. Let's kick it off.
Well, welcome to San Diego. Are you from San Diego, born and raised in San Diego?
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm from, when I moved when I was 3. And yes, parents graduated from San Diego State. My 3 brothers and sisters graduated from San Diego State. I'm the black sheep. And I did not go to San Diego State. But yeah, I grew up here, all the beaches, fun, everything you could imagine. Went to the same high school as Nicole.
Yes, alma mater, West Hills. I heard they didn't do so well against Helix.
Okay, well, we have to start with the story real quick, and Vinny's going to love this. So I was the punter in 9th grade, and I remember we were playing Valhalla. It was 13-14. And it was the 4th quarter, 10 seconds left, or 8 seconds, 6 or something. We were on the 2-yard line, so it was 4th down. So basically, here comes the punter. So my heels are on the back of the end zone, 13-14. And when I say hike, the snapper, I'm not going to name him by name just in case this gets around to him because, I forgive you fully. So hikes it over my head. I jumped as high as I could. It hit my fingertips and went over into the back. And in football, you get 2 points as the other team. So now with the clock runs out, we just lost 15-14 on the last play. I didn't even get to kick the ball out of the end zone. So go Vinny. I think you'd like that.
Oh, well.
Love it.
Have you always wanted to do music, or did you have other career plans?
Well, just like life happens, you have aspirations for something, and then life will totally try to get real, right? But that's not cool, right? It's not good because that's what we were taught to be. And all of us we're so unique that if we were given the chance, imagine if I started music at 12 and 13, what I would be playing for you today would be, whoa, you could just imagine, right? Because all life then is compounded effort. So when I first had the dream at 22, I made the decision and I said, let's go. And then I said, oh, wow, you have a long way before you're good. So then I started that thing called The Work. And since then, it's just been enjoying life and going.
So what have you been doing to do work, I guess? You said you started at 22. So what were the steps that you took to get to where you are now?
Great. Well, it's you've got to be honest with yourself, right? You're sitting in a situation where you could turn on any YouTube video and look at any artist who is slanging on guitar, vocals, everything you want to be, and you could compare yourself, not in the sense of you'll never be Prince, right? But you can perform and understand that James Brown was a performer, right? And you could listen to my favorite band, Sublime, and tell that they knew chords that I didn't know, right? They knew something that was missing. So I started that path of just being humble, and of course you play and you suck, and then you try to play in front of people and you suck, and then you start to realize that nothing's perfect, and the path then, when you realize how long term it is you say, well, now I have to start enjoying life in the process, because like any goal, it takes 5 to 10 years.
So 5 to 10 years, they do say that's how you can acquire your 10,000 hours to become a master at your craft, right? So you've put in your 10,000 hours. Is it after those 10,000 hours that you decided to move over into the Latin market, or had you always want to be a part of the Latin market?
I did. So TeTe comes from Mateo. And we're Italian, but we grew up in San Diego in Rosarito Taco Shop. We had lots of Mexican food, and one of our friends growing up taught us at Buenos Dias. So I took TeTe as a Latino thing, and I should have taken it as an Italian thing. Maybe I'd be, saying "Con te partido," but I'm not. I didn't resonate with Italian. Plus, I love spicy food. So I think it came about through. Partially that just full system of wanting to be original and making a plan of saying what could possibly has never been done before. You think of all the reverse Ricky Martins, the Enrique Iglesias, but nobody on the gringo scene has gone down to Latinos. So I said, you know what? If I love the culture, I'm so close. Why don't you make a spin on it, right? Mm-hmm. You could be same, but just. Yo soy latina ahora, sí.
So, do you speak Spanish fluently?
Sí, tengo un temor, es que entrevistas. I have one fear with your interviews, so it makes you a lot of the time focus every day. I mean, I practice Spanish like I practice music, right? It's like scale work for 10 minutes major, then 10 minutes minor. Well, I'm going on the computer, I'm looking up sentences, verbs, practicing 100 out loud, listening to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill in Spanish over and over. That's important, by the way, because the message I want to share to people, if I'm talking in life, is generally that. The belief, the faith, I believe in you, forgive yourself. And now listening to that book gives me the things I want to say in Spanish instead of the slang that we can get into a little bit if you want, because I know some more dirty words than you, believe me. And
usually the dirty words are the words that you learn first.
Oh, but there's some good ones that you don't even know about that, but we'll have a whole segment on that. It's great.
So, you, along with doing music, you also are an actor as well, right?
Correct, a voice actor.
A voice actor.
Yes, very important. Yes.
Have you ever done any voice acting work where they've required you to do Spanish, a Spanish read?
What's interesting about that is, yes, I can do the movie voice if you want. We could also do a character. What are we going to do? We could do all that. So just that question is like the guitar question. Would I be willing to go on the stage with Eric Clapton right now and feel comfortable? And, you could say humbly, no. I feel like I'm comfortable where I am. But you're talking about people that are fluent in every little sound, they pick up. So while mi español improvamente cada día, cada semana, what's improving every day and every week, I think I'm still humbly like a couple of years away. Now, would I go and be a personality because I have the same personality? Yes, because I can understand about 85, 90%, unless it's one of those like, okay, real quick. If you go to the South, for example, people learning English, and all of a sudden somebody says, somebody just learned English, they're coming from any country, and all of a sudden they hear, oh yeah, Nicole, man, the basketball game was great, man, I scored about 4 hoops, and then I did double dribble a couple times, and then I, crisscross, and then I went down the court. They're like, what did that person just say? Well, there's people like that in every country and every culture that you just can't, whoa. So a little bit of that gets mixed up, and other than that, I seem to be...
the different dialects from the different areas.
Correct.
Learning Spanish and learning English, there's basics, and then there's the dialects and the twangs that go with each of those.
Correct, that are tough to pick up sometimes.
Tough to pick up. What has been what's been the twang that you've been encountered with the most, or you have encountered the most?
Well, I think that it's very interesting because the further you go south, it changes, and I think most people in Tijuana, they're used to talking like avocado, sí, but, and we're used to kind of catching that. It's great. Sometimes it's a little slower. And if you go down to, Mexico City, it's very like funcional, es similar de España, so es muy rápido, bien muy claro. But if you go down to like Colombia and Venezuela, it's more neutral, actually. You don't really have too much. And then, of course, you go down south in Argentina and the Peruanas, they all speak differently. So it's really, you just gotta have as many friends offering you as many food as possible to eat and talk. But, yes.
That's very cool. You had mentioned Eric Clapton earlier. Is he one of your musical influences, and you said Sublime, but I guess who are your musical influences in the American musical and Latin culture?
Well, and that's very easy because my mom was a jazzercise instructor, so we were very fortunate to have, goodness gracious, great balls of fire, I know what I want and I want it now. I want you, So we had all of this mixed on with two artists, I would say. Besides, we were all raised on Biggie and Eminem, and I think that spoiled us for a lot of they're so talented even on freestyles that blew our mind. But here we go. It's Sublime, the songwriting, that beach rock vibe, and then Stevie Ray Vaughan, which crazy. If I have 30 seconds, you want to hear a crazy story about Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan? So a lot of people don't know about Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Eric Clapton said he was driving, and he was the only two people he ever pulled over to the side of the road when he heard him on the radio and said, "What is this?" So Eric Clapton and Stevie Ray Vaughan got done with the concert. They were going on a helicopter, and when they got to the helicopter, Eric Clapton was getting on. Stevie Ray Vaughan said, "Dude, I'm not feeling good. Can I please go in your place?" Eric Clapton's like, "Sure, man, no problem." The helicopter goes up, high up in the air, and it crashes. Stevie Ray Vaughan dies. So Eric Clapton could be dead, and Stevie Ray Vaughan could be still going. Crazy the turn of events that happen in life, right?
Wow, that's just fate working its hand, right?
Yes, exactly. So go with the flow and puke off stage so you don't die in a helicopter crash. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You had mentioned earlier that you wanted your music to be able to say a message, or not necessarily that you wanted your music to say a message, that you were trying to portray a message about self-awareness and taking care of yourself and all of that with the book that you're reading. Are you trying to portray that same message through your music, or what is the purpose of your music?
Thank you. That's a great question, because I think that the thing I liked about Sublime the most, they were raw. And I love to have the messages come through, the stuff we deal with everyday life. Sure, the romance and heartbreak's easy to come by, but I even wrote this song in Spanish. It goes, "Vivir la vida, no esperaré una oportunidad por hacerlo." So it goes, act now, whoa, we got one chance to do it right. So definitely layering in that, so many messages that you want. So I'll think there is a separation between the music, which I just love to dance, feel good, what sounds good, what's that riff that, oh yeah, that gives the hair stand up. And then in life, I like to be a person, right? So that side of it, that's what you're always hearing me in between songs talking about this stuff, after the show, before the show, on the street. That's what I just like to be, is that message, yeah.
That's great. I really like that. I think it's
Thank
great. You have a great message too to talk about with the kids. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to take a look at the video that you've compiled. You went out to Tijuana. If you guys don't know, TeTe, he is a philanthropist for kids down at an orphanage in Tijuana, Mexico. He makes trips down there, and he compiled a little video for us that you guys can watch right now. And I believe he has one of his songs layered on it, so you get to hear him. And yeah, when we get back, we will do the second part of the interview with TeTe and my co-host Vincenzo, and following that we'll have a live performance by him. So let's take it away, Farg, and check out the kids.
You're listening to Street Talk with the Swift Gang.
I'm dying inside. Nuestro amor is not through. Oh baby,
All right,
oh
Hey, cosas.
No te olvides cosas malas, tú dices no ganas, escenario es complicadas. Solo de ti, con de mí, I'm still little giddy. Looking at those old hoes pretty, I'm stuck like chicle at the bottom of my shoe. I'm stuck like glue. If you pull out your passport, you can meet me in LA. Oro drive muchas miles and you can meet me halfway. Lay on the hood of my car, look at that lunes y estrellas. Después head back towards the frontera, drive back the car, right back to where you are. Cariño, cariño, I'm dying inside. Nuestro amor is not through. Oh baby, nada es más perfecto de ti. Nuestro amor is not through. Yeah, es más romántico than a mini on the playa. We can pull out la lista y hacemos raya. Think you can manage yourself and fire on some palabras malas y vuelve por un otro ronda. Pero no me respondo, me gusta el duele. Anything to keep you around to play the game as long as you let me. Yo veo es un círculo vicioso, but oh so how I miss you so much. You know mil emotional scars are worth one touch. You make this caballero blush. No más tiempo para palabras, just bésame y pégame. Cariño, cariño, I'm dying inside. Nuestro amor is not through. Oh baby, nada es más perfecto de ti. Nuestro amor is not through. Cariño, cariño, I'm dying inside. Nuestro amor is not through. Oh baby, nada es más perfecto de ti. Nuestro amor is not through.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Street Talk with the Swift Gang. I'm Vincenzo, and you guys are listening to TeTe Musica. That was a beautiful music video that we just saw, where you got to witness TeTe hanging out with a lot of orphan children in Mexico and TJ, and him interacting and hanging out with them. And that was an excellent song. I wrote, especially the chicle stuck on the bottom of the gum. I think that's my favorite part of the song, because I can relate to that very, very much. I always get chicle stuck on the bottom of my shoes.
It's
just
everywhere.
Yeah,
Try
it's
going
just,
to LA, sometimes the
oh my
sidewalks are
God,
covered with it.
I can't. I just don't even get me started.
That and dog shit.
Well, you can find plenty of dog shit here too. I'm telling you, it's just people fail to pick up after their pets. Makes me wonder if they had children, what this world would really be like. Anyways, speaking of children,
Yes.
how did you end up getting involved with some of these orphanages down in Tijuana?
Well, that's great, and just dive on into that.
Yeah.
So one of the great parts about being in a country of Christians, an American Christian, was that was George Bush. That was a couple presidents ago. Was I saw this little picture of Jesus, and a child was on his knee, and a bunch of children around, and I remember sitting in the class. Course, bored out of your mind. It was
Sure.
Tuesday night. We had to go for an hour and a half and learn about it. Which I was like, that's a cool dude. So later on in life, when I said life started around 23, 22, and I had this business idea. Well, really, it's more to help the kids than anything. But I said, hey, it's time. So I went on YouTube and I went Tijuana orphanage trips. And then, a couple ones down, I clicked and it says, we take a bus once a month down to Tijuana. So I went to their company website, registered, passport, and it's been 3.5 years now of just more life-changing than you thought it would be. Mm-hmm. And, all those magical moments that you hope to be captured on camera, like holding the baby, right? You start to realize that those come dime a dozen. especially nowadays where everybody has technology. And I have printed pictures out all over my wall of all these things, and it's just different now. That what I was trying to say was this: you start to realize the children are more important than the experiences, and
Absolutely,
it just hits you in the face, and you're like, whoa! It's just like it's more happy thinking about them. Yeah.
So it's great because being a parent myself, I understand all about the smile on the child's face and changing their day and kind of maybe changing their mood or even their whole outlook on life or a perspective on something.
Correct.
I think it's great that you work with these kids down in TJ. Do you happen to do any work here in the United States with any orphanages locally as well too, whether it be LA, San Diego, Orange County?
It's a good question. Now I'll answer it two ways. One, I have surround sound going in even foster homes with positive messages morning and night backed by affirmations and music. So with that said, yes, I'll be doing it. Now let's have real talk here. Okay. There's a street talk. You want to have a shit experience, go to Tijuana, Mexico, and try to have a life.
Right.
Of any kind. You think it's so easy just to go to school or register for this, or it's not. Nothing is easy. So when people ask why I go down to Mexico, it's because these kids have literally 10 times less the opportunity as the lowest foster kid who's having a shit experience also. That's not fun. I'm not claiming that. I wish we had families and loving people for every kid, and I think part of the message we'll talk about as this goes on is if everybody just did this much, it could help. So that's why I go to Tijuana. They need it more than anybody close to us.
Right. Well, you talk about helping. I mean, obviously there are ways that we could help our locals here. There are ways that we could help those in Tijuana. The holidays are coming up. Usually there are opportunities to donate and give money. What are some ways that you're collecting donations, if any, for the kids in Tijuana, the kids here in the United States, whatever it is that you're rooting for or that you're promoting? How can they help out? How can you help out? How can others help out?
Great. So yes, the holiday trip is coming up. There's 3 homes with 60 kids each, and the organization I work with has 600 kids that they provide everything for. With that said, there's 2 kind of donations I love. One of them are the practical. They always say shampoo, imagine, with 60 girls, and I get 2 in 1 when I go by. So I get a shampoo, conditioner. Ladies, I'm a little smart on this one. And shampoo, cereal bars, and what was the third thing? Body wash, basically. And then the third, the Christmas, though, yes, soccer balls, footballs,
baseballs,
makeup kits, everything you could think of is welcome for this Christmas trip. Because they don't have any family. Imagine having literally your mom or dad or aunt or grandma dropped you off in the middle of the night, literally drove away and knocked on the door, and you're like, where are you going?
Right.
So, anything you could offer these children is great. And so, yes, I do take donations, everything. I, hold up a receipt of the stuff I bought. It's very important for me that I ask the houses what they need in pots and pans and correct. So, answer your question, the practical, yes, I take donations, money for donation shop.
Okay.
And I love giving little kids stuff they could smile about and take some ownership of in their life. Right.
Right. That's incredible. I think that's really awesome. That's really great. Especially having some kids myself. There's, like I mentioned before, there's that smile, that look on their face, and when they get something that they really enjoy or that kind of, it touches them. It touches them. It makes them feel really good. And you mentioned a few things that they can donate besides money and baseballs and toys and shampoo. But what are some other things that can people donate? Can they donate clothes? How about musical instruments? Can they donate musical instruments, things like that?
Put it this way: anything that you would think of, they need. Right, laundry detergent. That was the other one. Imagine 60 pairs of clothes being washed, and that was each kid. So it's funny. I asked them, and they say, "Sure, we need new cast iron. 12 cast iron new pots and pans. So I'll go out and just heavy.
Right.
Take that down and." Just literally whatever you think, but here's the cool part. Let's say you work for a construction company. Of course there needs new roofing. So if you knew somebody could donate roofing, stucco, windows.
There you go, a little
bedding.
outside the box there.
One thing that you think you could donate were clothes, but they're influxed by used clothes. I think that's just the way the world is now. Everybody has so much, and they're okay in that department.
All right, so no clothes, but if you got other goods and services that you can donate, whether it be repairing the orphanage itself,
Great.
or some bottles of shampoo and soap, that works out. I could only imagine some of the struggles that some of these kids go through. And I know you've witnessed it personally. I know in my own personal experiences, I've had an opportunity to travel a little bit and see some different walks of life and be able to kind of see how people live. And I think when we see that and we witness that, it kind of provides us sometimes with a little level of inspiration, or sometimes a kind of that aha moment in our own worlds, where we kind of compare and contrast a little bit. So you write this beautiful music. You have a great voice. Do you draw from some of these experiences as a source of kind of inspiration for when you're writing these positive messages in your music?
Yes, I do. Now, real quick, I had to say, when he said you're so great for doing this, imagine the moms and the dads, the mamas of the house that take care of these kids every day. They say thank you to me. I say thanks to me, to you. You're here every day.
Right.
You don't get any sleep. So, but yeah, it's changed my life so much because I realized that we only have one life, and I believe there's no afterlife. And what does that mean? My time is so precious. And we know for a fact that when you are kind to somebody and you extend that, your endorphins, serotonin, and immunity kick up. So your job is to help human beings, and you will feel the best ecstasy you've ever felt in your life sustained. And so you have to put that together. So I got that feeling of, seeing that girl who has straight A's, you just get it. You're happy for her. You see hope. And I think that has propelled my life and my music, my voiceover, philanthropy, everything. Everything you do, it's like that Japanese culture is perfected down to the moment. Placing the phone down, putting your bracelet on, everything in the now, right? It made me really appreciative for everything. Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. We're going to talk more off air, right? Because I love it. If I continue to ask questions and keep bouldering through, we'll be here for another 2 or 3 hours. I'm sure you don't mind, but our listener, I don't know if everyone can stay up another 2 or 3 hours. Right? Comment us. So not to kind of stray away from it, but we've covered a little bit about your music. We've covered a lot of the philanthropy that you've done, which, like I've said, I mean, it's cool. I respect you for it, because we had a segment several weeks ago, actually one of our first shows, where we talked about the homeless epidemic here in San Diego.
Yep.
And one of the biggest things that break my heart is seeing the young children that are on, Imperial Avenue and whatnot.
Yes.
And my biggest thing is, these kids, they don't choose to be in that situation. They're just brought into that situation.
Yes.
And so it breaks my heart, because I'm sure in a lot of cases their parents are trying, but then I'm sure there's a lot of cases where the parents necessarily aren't trying. And so, I always try to, do my best to, every time I'm walking by, I see a kid, help him out. I always try to go to 7-Eleven, buy him something, hey, would you like some food? Would you like,
great,
a bottle of water or something like that?
And then drop off Think and Grow Rich, the book, to him and say, dude, just keep on to this. And you could,
you know what? I came across, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I came across an instance. I used to work frequently down by Petco Park.
Great.
And there was a situation where I was driving, and I had stopped at the stoplight there, right on Park Boulevard, and a homeless guy came out with a newspaper and a bottle of Windex and started cleaning the windows on my car.
Great.
Now, I haven't seen this happen in years, but I really respected the fact that he was willing to try to do something to earn my money, as opposed to just
asking.
Just kind of asking there. And and so I gave him his props, and I let him know, say, hey, I really admire that. And I actually recommended that book to him to go check out, because
Great.
It would help him.
He would completely understand the tools and principles. And I want to touch on something you said real quick. It's very important. Notice how I said Tijuana. That struck my nerve. That struck my chord.
Right.
Picking up trash is also good. But yours, it's interesting how mine was Tijuana and yours was the homeless youth. And if everybody picked their chord, and if you took maybe 2 of the football players down a week, and you said, once a week, guys, we're just going to dip in and go down the row and just give everybody hugs and high fives in our jerseys and say, you can do it. You would change the world just like everybody would, with cats, with dolphins, with trees. Sure. And that's the catch. Nobody has to go all the way to Mexico and do all that stuff. It's just my chord, right? So
that is
please keep pursuing that chord.
Beautiful way of explaining that.
Great.
Yeah, that's terrific.
Mine's just a G major. La.
Well, I'm not a music guy, so maybe you can tell me what my chord is. I don't know what mine is.
La. You have a good life. You see that? Mine was this one note.
I'm not going to even try. I might crack the screens on the cameras here or even break the mic. So I'm going to stray away a little bit from the philanthropy stuff that you've done because I
would really talk about the good stuff.
Because I like to hear a little bit more about your music. What's cool is that what's unique is that you mix your philanthropy with your music. So I think that's unique. Now you live in Southern California. You do a lot of work in Tijuana.
That's right, dude. SoCal, you know.
Do you intend on staying in Southern California? Do you have any plans on maybe moving down to Mexico? The prices on homes on the playa are really, really good.
True,
I've thought about this myself personally.
When I went to Central Mexico, I went to the airport and there was a hotel and it said in pesos. I forget, it was like 120 pesos. And I was like, that's $6 a night. I was like, I can do this. This is the dream. But I'll say that what's so great. Obviously, Mama wants me to come back to San Diego and strum music while I used to be a real estate agent for 5 years. And that was part of my past pain to be able to come into this. That was my caterpillar to butterfly.
Sure.
But I tell her the reason why I stick in LA is because you can imagine every culture of every person in the world comes there.
Absolutely.
And that makes such a rich environment. And I just love people and, diversity. And there's not a crowd I'm not comfortable in. And by the way, if you're traveling, you want to know my secret, I go any city alone in the world, I feel comfortable. Because you just wait and you look for the happy people and you just go right to that group and you go, hola, yo soy TeTe. And they'll accept you in and you're safe from that point. You have a good crowd to be around. So go to Beijing and give it a try.
All right, I'm going to brush up on my Chinese. I'm going to work my way over there. Yeah, I know no Chinese at all whatsoever. So Mama wants you back. But you're not sure if you're doing that.
Well, LA, you know what? World travel, yes. I have so much to explore in the Latin Americas, and I only want to get in any other countries besides south of the border. I have huge respect to the history that they have, been through and endured, and that is my, calling. So I don't know. We'll see where I move and where I go.
All right. So in your future, then. Great. So this is what I'm seeing in your future.
Great.
Okay. This is what I'm picturing. I'm seeing you professionally a year from now. You're going to be touring or doing some sort of shows in like Panama and Bolivia and Colombia, and you're just going to be, rocking the stage. Is that what you have pictured going on for you professionally in the next year? Do you got some shows coming up, or what do you see yourself doing?
So so much great stuff's going on, and yes, that would be lovely as part. And this is how my mind works. I daydream just as much about the show and the adrenaline and getting out there and just, oh my God, just the prep for the show, and I love that. Then I always knew that the next morning of the show, I'd always be at the orphanage in Mexico City and Guanajuato and Oaxaca, wherever I'm playing. It's easy, right?
Sure.
We've all been tired off our ass. You're a dad. I mean, God, every time I see parents, I'm just like, oh, the first couple months of sleep must be terror. So if you're talking about
none,
right? If you're talking about an adrenaline show of all these people. And shit, it's just this many people that love it. You're so fortunate. We know the brain fires more than on acid when you're playing music, singing and dancing. So that's why I'm stringing together these experiences. And music is part of a great life of, like I said, voiceover, philanthropy, music, and right, just
what, I have a good idea.
Yes.
I have a good idea, and maybe we can team up with this. We're going to put you on tour, okay?
Great.
And when you go on tour, we're going to have every tour stop that you make, we're going to have people send you stuff to donate to all the local orphanages
that's
and
even
charities.
one step further than mine. That's great. We could even say, meet me at this address for a drop-off before. So when I get there would be just lines of goods. Thank you for that. That was great. That's why, by the way, I was talking to DJ Roscoe earlier. I'm talking about community. And when you decide to commune, or said, yes, a radio should be a great idea.
Absolutely.
Who would have thought that I would have gotten an idea to expand helping all the kids, which is my goal. Community, not separation and seclusion. Like, no, man, I'm just gonna sit at home and strum because that's what dark musicians do. It's a community. So I appreciate that, and I definitely will enact that on my. I could even say it on the mic that night. So it's great. Thank you.
Yeah,
great.
Absolutely. And you know what? And how about some other ways? Where can all of our listeners? Because now I'm sure we have a ton of our listeners that are tuning in, new ones, new to you, that probably want to help your cause and want to help you out and probably donate, what are some different social networks, or where can they maybe get some of your music, or where can they reach out to you so that they can donate to you or get some of your swag or get some of your music?
Great. Well, so I'll do the donation first, and then I'll talk about the music. So if you go to TeTe, the number 4, music with an A, TeTe Musica at gmail.com. That's where we can just start the conversations and how you're feeling comfortable, what you want to pay, how you want to pay it, what you want to donate. So that would be an awesome email to go to. Social medias are great. I'm at TeTe Musica, TeTe, music with an A, TeTe Musica, on all social media platforms, Facebook, fan, Instagram, Twitter. Now, what's lucky about the Go Ham Radio is I'm going to be playing stuff. My EP release party's in 3 months, so I have plenty of time. So it's great.
Oh, yeah.
This is a nice saying, hey, everybody, this is a taste of what I'm going to be doing, what I've been working on. And in a second, I'm going to play you a brand new song that is literally just brand new. I haven't even recorded that, right? So this will be awesome to be able to do that for you guys. And so, once again, it's just literally SoundCloud, everything's coming out then. So now this is a taste for you, and TeTe Musica Facebook fan will be a great place to keep in track, and I'll even invite you to the EP release party.
Right on. Right on. Well, we are very excited to get a little taste of TeTe Musica coming up here shortly. We want to thank TeTe for sitting down and talking with both myself and Miss Fancy Pants. You guys stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to get TeTe all mic'd up, and he's going to perform for us live now, and it's going to be a blast. I'm really looking forward to this. Farg, you almost ready over there? Farg's ready. He's like, that dude's so on point. God bless him. I love this dude, Farg. All right, so you're listening to Street Talk with the Swift Gang. My name is Vincenzo. Miss Fancy Pants, TeTe Musica is coming up right up next after the break.
You're listening to Street Talk with the Swift Gang.
This is a GoHamRadio.com exclusive.
This is TeTe Musica. His original song that I'm playing just for this little sneak peek to what I've been doing. Here we go. My whole life I've been waiting for this moment when normally I wouldn't and shouldn't. You be correct for my 99% pacifist. So finally allow my fist to risk to a cleanse for dollars. You couldn't distract me from what I gotta do. I gotta down and I lay it down. And everyone would think I'm the hero. This is the kind of man we want to use an example how to handle himself when he blows out the wick of another man's candle. Give him 40,000 award, ended up with a special on the O channel. Such a nice, polite young man, philanthropist, throwing people off with the all button-up flannel. And all this glory just for bam, 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 laying down the handle. Well, I can feel the breeze on my skin, and it feels like peace. Oh, can you feel the love? One big family, and then oh, some punk steps to me. But what was I to do? He messed with my family, and then oh, I felt the heat. The one person is here, it's got a hold of me. Hold of me. Hold of me. My whole life I've been waiting for this moment when normally I wouldn't and shouldn't. You give me credit for my 99% pacifist and finally allow my wrist to clench it for the dollars. It couldn't distract me from what I gotta do, cause I gotta down and I lay it down.
And here comes that energy in my chest. I've been waiting for so long to unleash the beast. I'm ready to feast, see and rev for the first time. This is fun. There's no way he could run under the sun with the protection of a loaded gun. So here I come. You better get ready to pay the piper. I'm laser focused like a trained sniper. I would have told you to take a hike or breathe through a booted who can do it. Spark like a night. It's got to end tonight, sir. It's time for me to blow you out. You see, it's time for you to die. I can feel the breeze on my skin, and it feels like peace. Oh, can you feel the love? One big family, and then, oh, some punk steps to me. But what was I to do? He messed with my family, and then, oh, I felt the heat. The 1% is here. It's got a hold of me. Hold of me. Hold of me. Gracias.
That was awesome. Thank you so very much.
Ah, gracias, gracias. What a good life, right?
Right? So that's from a new album that you've got coming out, your new EP.
Correct. EP's coming out. 3 months. EP release party.
Now, will your CD, your EP, be in Spanish or in English?
Spanglish, Spanish, and English. So it's, when you hone in on your style, it definitely has to be both. And it's obviously where my future's headed, and es donde me deseo. It's where my desire is, so yes.
All right, well, let the camera know where they can find your music.
Great. I'm doing 3 months. You go to TeTe Musica fan page, and you will literally get the play-by-play live shows before, build up, tracks, SoundCloud, iTunes. You'll get that all in 3 months, and I can't wait to give it to you. What a good life. So, gracias por sígame. Thank you for following.
Perfect. All right. We'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we've got our street talk on AIDS awareness, and we still have TeTe in the building, so he's not going anywhere. So take a short break, and when we come back, it's Street Talk with the Swift Gang.
This has been a GoHamRadio.com exclusive.
You're listening to Street Talk with the Swift Gang.
All right, that was an amazing job by TeTe. Thank you so much for performing here on Street Talk with the Swift Gang. This is episode 8, and he has just blessed the mic with his talents. If you missed it, you can catch everything on the replay right after we're done streaming. Right now, we're going to get into our Street Talk topic of the night, which is, since it is October, it's AIDS Awareness Month, so we're going to talk about AIDS awareness.
The only thing that I know about AIDS is from the movie Team America World Police. And what they told me was that everyone has AIDS. AIDS, AIDS, AIDS.
Based off of a comment that you said a few weeks ago, I'm going to consider that that was true. You really know nothing of it, do you?
Absolutely. Other than it starts with the letter A, it ends with the letter S, has an I, a D, and a D in the middle. Now, what I do know,
you're gonna learn tonight.
What I do know is that AIDS is incurable, and that it actually stems from the HIV virus. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that it can be transmitted several different ways, but not from sharing a cheeseburger with someone who is infected with AIDS.
Even if you get it out the trash can.
So you're batting 66% so far. Keep going.
So, AIDS. Everyone has AIDS.
What does HIV stand for?
I'm going to say that it stands for hormonal infection virus. That's just my, take a stab at it kind of a guess.
So no, that was kind of close. I mean, you had the letters right?
No,
Okay.
yeah.
So HIV actually stands for the human immunodeficiency virus.
Don't hurt yourself. Say that again.
The human immunodeficiency virus.
Immuno, like you have a very bad immune system.
Exactly. You have a deficiency in your immune system.
So you don't die of AIDS, you die from having a sickness because your immune system's too weak.
Basically, that's what it is. So, how it starts is you can get infected with the virus by someone else
Okay.
who already has it, whether they know it or not, which is interesting. You can only contract it through bodily fluids, semen, blood,
Hold
intravenous
on.
drug
okay,
use.
so here's my question.
All right.
How is my theory of then sharing a cheeseburger with someone who has AIDS erroneous? Because if you swap
Unless there
bodily
was a
fluids,
bodily-
and if there was saliva left over, if there was some sort of saliva on the cheeseburger, I'm not asking to be an asshole. I'm asking because I'm generally trying
That
to
wasn't
like.
the one you were wrong about.
But see, it's
The incurable one.
this is the thing:
okay.
is saliva isn't actually the type of fluid that they're referring to. It's
Okay.
blood,
Okay.
semen,
Semen.
pre-seminal.
Like Navy men.
those,
semen?
Yes,
Okay.
in white uniforms.
In the Navy.
Yes.
Perfect.
And pre-seminal fluid. Excuse me. Pre-seminal fluid. You know, like I think it's like pre-cum fluid. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I guess
Oh,
I obviously can't say it the way it's supposed to say. Pre-seminal.
It just sounds like something before a Florida
Pre-cum. That's
State
what it
Seminole
is. It's
football game.
pre-cum fluid. So vaginal fluids, rectal fluids, and breast milk.
Really?
Well, if the mother
you're-
has HIV and is
Okay.
breastfeeding and can
Okay.
pass it on to her child,
There we go.
that is a possibility, and that's actually called mother-to-child transmitted HIV. They
Where
don't
have
just
you
call
been
it
the last
HIV.
20, 30 years, Vinny? I mean,
Not-
God, we've had so much
Not
education on this. I mean,
worried about
Right?
AIDS because I wasn't putting needles in my body or having unprotected
well, but
sex with everything under the sun.
everybody has a homophobic someone
Just,
around it.
just one with
But you went
all
to
these
high
kids.
school. I mean, look, part of growing up, you were like, fag, gay. I mean, it was just the bullshit you said back in the day, and like, but
right,
soon
and
enough,
but I also was smart enough to understand that at a certain point, that just because you were gay, that was like a stigma with getting AIDS. Like, it wasn't like if you were gay, you automatically got AIDS. So like at that point, like I realized that. Now, as far as like, I never was too. I guess I wouldn't say I wouldn't pay it. It's not that I didn't pay attention to it. I knew that I was never going to intentionally put myself in a situation where I could contract the virus. Therefore, I did not necessarily take the extra measure to educate myself in how I could potentially contract the virus.
Understandable.
And that was going with just the knowledge or what was taught with it, because the information actually progressed as we went through school.
correct.
So things that we learned in 4th grade, by the time we were in 6th grade, completely changed.
Yep.
And so, kind of what I went off of was like, okay, as long as I don't share needles with anybody, as long as I have rampant unprotected sex, I'm pretty much okay. Because in my mind, I wasn't going to be doing either of those things to put myself in a situation.
And then we'll get right back on to fancy pants.
Let's be blown.
Which is mind-blowing question. So, if you had a gay friend
Okay.
that needed advice, wouldn't you want to know to be like, dude, you need to use a condom every time? This is why.
Yeah.
because,
Okay. So I had that much knowledge, like, because I think that was like one of those things where it's kind of like, okay, look, here's the deal. Like, regardless of your sexuality, if you were going to have any kind of sexual intercourse with anybody, you needed to protect yourself because you don't know what that person could be carrying. So that much I did know. Where I'm getting at is I wasn't going to be shooting up.
Yes.
And I wasn't going to be running around like Magic Johnson.
Yes,
Okay.
true.
so that's kind of where I was at.
Great.
You know what I'm saying? I was,
Yes.
if I was going to be, So that's
Great.
That's
Great
that's where it was.
explanation. That was
That's
good.
where
I
it
like
was.
that.
That's
Well,
where it
that's
was. You know, I'm
understandable.
being being completely honest with you. Now, if I grew up in a situation where I grew up in a crack house and everyone was doing heroin and whatnot, I might be a little bit more conscientious about. All right, well,
most likely you'd be doing it too. I mean, that's
yeah,
that's social
yeah,
behavior. Right?
probably.
Well, I mean, that's an honest answer that if you weren't exposed to it, then you don't necessarily concern yourself with the education of that. And TeTe, you said, you agreed when it was a progression of us through our life as we get to know the details of these things, because, of course, they don't think that we as children can handle the truth, right?
Correct.
So you actually live or you work in West Hollywood in LA, which is known to be a very
Highest concentration of gays in the world.
and you work
I work at the bar is the #1 gay bar in the world. It's huge. You can imagine what my eyes have seen from everybody. I've had gangster ass cholos like, damn homie, I want to get on that ass. I've had like guys in suits like, you are so I'd love to take you back to my place with some Chivas Regal, and like they.
Damn, what a menu to pick from.
You get,
Right.
you
Good
get
Lord.
everything. So that's why I say I wish I was gay, because I would be in heaven. My friends are so beautiful and such good people, So I have a good perspective on all this.
How did you, or when did you first become knowledgeable, I would say, about it? Because you become exposed at some point, but then throughout your exposure, you become knowledgeable. So I would say, how long has it been since you've been knowledgeable about?
Well, Ray, it's a thirst for the truth, and when you're growing
Touche.
up,
Well
said. Well said.
You can't help growing up the homophobic stuff that's around. My dad would see two guys holding hands like, and so you kind of go, oh yeah, well, or he would say, why are you holding your brother's hand? You're like, because I love him. You're like, what and you say, well, what am I going to sleep with my brother? What's wrong with that? So I think out of that spurred this truth. And then, by the way, my two younger brothers that I love are gay. So when that happened, you realize, well, wait a second, and your whole world changes, right? And so just like accepting the truth, you got to surrender to that's the truth. And now they're my homeboys, and I hear about their sex stories, like I'll share mine. You know what I'm saying? And
Why not?
Right, exactly. So.
There it
whatever. I
is.
don't judge anybody for anything. I'll tell
Gosh,
you.
if I got to be a breeder, I should at least be able to listen to everyone else's situation, right?
Right? I mean, you're having enough to compensate for those that don't.
I want to hear about all about the bears. That's
The
what I want.
bears.
Oh, you would be so popular. You
man.
gotta let that chest hair grow out.
I'm
You know what I'm saying?
telling-
The
Oh,
bears and cubs. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
I'm not even exposed to this
Let
type
me tell you
of
something, because
vernacular.
I love TeTe. I think this is where TeTe and I can relate.
Oh,
relate
do
a little
you?
Bit. Okay, so
He may or
all
may
right,
not be on the market.
You
Maybe gay for
would
pay.
remember this. You would remember this a little bit. Remember when I was young and I was on one?
On one?
On one. I was just out to take over the world. Okay?
You-
I was breaking out of my shell and I was just on one. And in my effort to be on one, right, I was broke as all hell.
That's all right. He had swag for days.
I had
confidence
swag
for
for
days.
days.
One of those giant watches you bought back in the
I
day.
did. I did. I had big old earrings in my ears. They were fake, but they looked great.
They were obnoxiously big.
And so what ended up happening was I was so broke. I just moved to North Park. North Park, as you know, very close to Hillcrest.
Yep.
Which, if you're from San Diego, Hillcrest is the gay district here in San Diego.
Yep.
Okay. And so I made it a point to, rather than going out to the straight bars, because I couldn't afford to buy myself drinks, I figured why not put myself out there.
That's ballsy.
You know what? And,
Vinny.
and so, but you know what? Let me
Did it
tell you
work?
something.
Did
It
it
did.
work? Are you
It
kidding me?
did.
Were you-
It did. And just because, you know what? Men don't change.
You guys-
gay or straight, men don't change.
Let's start this conversation
They
now.
are pigs.
If the world were like men, I'll say this a million times, the world would be better. Ladies, if you just went up to a guy and said, "Hey, you're hot," and you allow the guy to say, "Wow, you're hot too. Let's make out." I mean, can you imagine the bliss in the world?
What a beautiful
Well,
world we would
actually,
live in.
it wouldn't be called bliss. It would be called, according to the statistics, chlamydia. Because in San Diego alone, whether you are under 20 or over 20, it is the #1 STD rampant in the streets of San Diego. I think it's because it's curable with a couple of pills or a drink or whatever, but it's chlamydia, then gonorrhea, and then syphilis. So, and then
Pass
Hep
the
A.
clap.
So watch out for everything out there in the streets. Make sure you have your Purell. It's I don't know.
You're
if-
Purelling your Trojans.
I don't know if that'll what's
Purell
considered the
your-
all down there
99%.
your
before
Trojan,
you go.
yeah, maybe Purell your Trojans beforehand.
Oh my goodness. So, I don't know if this is appropriate, but I'm curious. How far have you allowed any of those offers to go?
Well, sweetie.
I'm just curious. I mean, I don't know. I'm
$5,
curious.
you're like, beat it, bro. Like 100, you're like, And then, they're like, here's 20,000. You're like, so.
Now, would it
where are
be
we
cash,
going?
money order?
Look, it's so funny. I tell people, they say, trust me, you got to try it once. If you don't know me, what I have, what I can do. Ladies,
they
I
are
hear
exactly
everything
alike.
you have. Or like, they'll go like, damn, you're so fine, And I'll
They
tell
can
you, and I
touch
tell
you?
them, I say, bro, trust me.
As long as they keep tipping.
If I was gay, you would be the first, man. You're like great, but believe me, like it just does nothing down there. And I have the most handsome, good-looking, humble, great guys around
love
me all
it.
the time that are very horny all the time.
I love
and,
it.
And by the way, but that's what people want to understand. They don't hit on me because they know we're bros, right? So get that out of your head. Sure, but it's like they want to have sex with you. But it's like literally your friend's wife. It's never gonna happen ever. And it's like she's like your sister at that point. So her being hot, it's irrelevant because you're never gonna do it. So it's kind of like anyway. So with that said, never took it far. I could mess with them, because they're feeling good off 3 martinis, So you just.
So you flirt.
I love the playbook
Yeah,
because we have the
Yeah.
same playbook. No. Yeah, I appreciate it. No, you're not
Well,
going to take me home. But if you'd like to buy me another beer, I'd be more than happy to sit here and talk with you.
Well, I just start singing to them. I love.
Oh
you.
no! See, now you're teasing them.
Well, you better
I
believe-
just asked for another beer. He goes and plays with
Well,
them a little
talk
bit
about
longer.
It, somebody does say,
Hey,
"Let me
he's
see it."
a man on a mission.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, this is hilarious.
Oh, I love it.
Oh.
I love it.
Now, in my AIDS awareness or learning about HIV and the progression into AIDS,
Yes.
I found out, and from a friend, about, have you ever heard of the PrEP pill?
No.
Or the PEP pill? There's 2 different kinds. PEP, P-E-P,
Okay.
and PrEP, P-R-E-P.
Okay.
So it's kind of like birth control and the morning after pill for
AIDS.
HIV,
Correct.
potential HIV contraction.
Okay.
So you can take the PrEP pill once a day, and it will help to block or fight against the development of HIV infection if you come in contact with someone who is infected, whether they know or not, because it can take 2 to 4 weeks for you to develop symptoms that are just like colds, and it can take up to 10 years for it to develop into AIDS. So this isn't just something that happens overnight. It can happen and you're not even aware of
It's
it.
like 6 months. It takes the incubation process. Now, to put a quick plug into Jeffrey, who is one of the head sex counselors at the LGBTQA Center, formerly the Gay and Lesbian Center, which you can go there and get free tested. And so the insight he gives me on this is amazing. And keep going. You're doing an amazing job. Tell me when you're going to do PEP. I'll give you a little intro.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I got a quick question. Do you have to be gay to go get free testing?
No, I mean anybody.
It's just- okay.
They just tell you. So how many people have sex with?
Well,
them
you
in
know,
the world?
you never know, because some people who are straight might feel shied
Oh.
away because maybe it's
Well,
only a service offered to
everybody in
gay.
there, everybody in there, regardless what testing clinic you go to, gay or straight, everybody's going to have the same look on their face, like,
Oh shit.
so it doesn't.
You're
matter.
all there for the same reason. You
Right.
might have made a bad decision
Well, you
somewhere
just-
down the
You
line.
just never know, because the communal feeling, like, okay, well, you know what? At least if I have it, I'm amongst my gay friends, and and maybe with straight people
So
feel.
let's
you
talk
know.
about some
Whatever.
PEP.
You said
So-
you're about to act gay for a drink. You can act gay for an infection.
It's true. Let's talk about something real quick.
I'm
So
just being realistic.
let's
with
say
how certain people
you're
feel.
out at a club, right, and you meet a hot boy, and you're like, hey, let's party,
German.
right?
Yeah.
I want to do
thought it
some.
was
I want to do
No,
some.
this is
someone
German.
says it's drugs, right? It's party, and you start kissing the boy, and you go back and have a wild night, and then he wakes up and tells you he has HIV. What do you use?
I use my PEP pill.
Continue, please.
So PEP pill, right, our P's. So the PrEP, P-R-E-P, is kind of like birth control, right? You take it every day in preparation that you may become infected, right?
Perfect.
Now, if you don't mess around a lot and say you have a one-night fling or something, and whatever the circumstance may be,
Right, partying.
and you party and wake up the next day and find
hardy.
out that you partied pretty hard. And
Party Hardy, shout out to the what was it, Hustle Valley over
Hustle
there.
Valley, they
Party
got some
hardy,
clothing
you might
coming
need that
out.
pep pill.
Right, might need the pet pill. So you end up taking the pet pill afterwards, and it's to help again prevent the starting of an HIV infection if you became in contact.
So it's like an EpiPen for AIDS and HIV, except it's a pill, not an EpiPen.
It's like a morning after pill. You know,
Gotcha.
you take a morning after pill, and you have like 5 days. The sooner you take it, the more effective. It's kind of the same way.
Perfect.
So you have your pre-EP and your post.
When does the
EP.
LP drop?
Right after the EP, 3 months from now.
Perfect.
But up, bum. We're here every Friday night, guys.
Try the veal.
It's Street Talk with the Swift Gang. This is episode 8. We've been here with TeTe. TeTe, I have a question.
Yes.
Now, the PrEP and the pet pill, just out of curiosity, have you ever thought about or have you ever taken either one of those pills?
Well, although girls aren't into anal as much as you want them to be, so and you know,
That's being pretty real.
And yeah, exactly. So I have not. However, I could say that the feel. By the way, you could imagine the elatedness, just like a straight person. You have the condom breaks, and you're like, oh my fuck, and you can go and get the Plan B. You are so thankful, right? Well, imagine the same thing happened, and somebody's like, oh my god, I have HIV, and you're like, and they just came all inside you on accident. You're gonna love that Pep's there. And of
On
course,
accident, I'm sure it was accident.
And then, well, hey, you never know. I mean, trust me, these boys go for it, right? And
Right.
and so but this is the argument. Everybody on the right's trying to say from the Midwest, and they're like, well, all the gays now are just gonna be butt humping everywhere, and and what's gonna stop them from humping? And the thing is, straight people have been doing that for millennia anyways, or more than that. I'd say
butt humping's fun.
Since Adam and Eve, right? That's how we get started, right?
6,000 years ago. You got it.
So you said your two younger brothers, they're gay. Do they take the PrEP pill? Or are they aware
they have
of that?
CX. Well, here's what's so great. My brother Steven, he got married to Ricky. Ricky's so amazing. They moved out to Montana. They have this great life. I love them. So no need for that. And hopefully, I'm pretty sure at the point now where they don't have to use condoms. But
Right.
Brad,
They're married and they're in a secure
and my other
relationship.
brother, he's
Absolutely.
amazing, Brad, and he's responsible as hell. So no, it's more of those things of education, right? It's we heard the chlamydia thing. Oh, everybody's wear a condom. You realize how great the world is. I mean, we have the answer. Just slide it on. Of course, it's going to feel 95% against 100, but you guys know anyways you're going to bust that nut super quick because you're going to try to go all fast and you don't go
At least
slow
you got something you
anyways.
could blame it on.
God, right? I mean, if that.
Oh, it was the condom that did it, you
baby,
know.
No, yeah, normally. So, but anyhow, it's accepted in the community and welcomed. I think it's progress for the health of humans, which I'm a humanist, so I think it's amazing.
Perfect. And we do too. We're here to support health and, of course, AIDS awareness here. It is October, birthday month. And that's pretty much all of our show that we've got. Yeah.
Real
go
quick,
ahead.
you got to give a shout out to countries from Africa. You said 50% of their countries had HIV and AIDS, and now they're down, dwindling almost to nothing, right? And actually, if that's something to be very proud of in the advancements that have come through education and medicine. So continue, Fancy Pants. Thank you.
Oh, no, definitely a shout out to all the progress that we've had in AIDS studies and not
Just
really wearing
medicine,
red.
just medicine in general.
Yeah, I was
I
was
think
really
medicine in
impressed
general.
when I found out about the PrEP and the pet pill,
They
because
just-
I was like, you know what, that's great.
They
I
just
really think that's great.
Yeah, now the medical industry needs to come around and
Yeah.
cure people of cancer instead of holding back on us and making us spend all this money for no reason.
Yes.
We
I'll
know
join
that health
that
is a
show
monetary
and
Don't
thing.
That's
hashtag
great.
don't buy pink because it's a scam.
What's
okay?
pink?
Like don't
Oh,
there's
the
no need to go
breast-
buy breast cancer awareness because we're not going to get into that subject.
We're not
going to
get into that.
Hours,
Yeah.
but
We'll do another. I'll come back for that show. That'd be
yes,
Right?
Yes.
Well, make sure you guys come back next week, same time, same place. This is episode 8. Next week is going to be episode 9. We're going to have a very special guest. I told you who it was.
Very special.
Do you know?
We have, he is going to be appearing as photographer
Yes.
Devin Rowe Watson, but I know him as DJ Dev.
DJ Dev, our old friend who DJs. He is a photographer. He's a father of a cutie pie, a little mini him.
He's a fantastic personality. Everyone's going to really enjoy him.
He does some videos. He's about to launch his YouTube channel. So we're going to get him in next week and talk with him a little bit. And, of course, we're going to edit this video. And you can go on GoHamRadio.com and find TeTe's live performance. It was awesome. It was so good. I love having people come in and play the guitar. It just makes us feel so homey, you know. And
nice. It's very, very nice.
do you have what we're going to be streaming for next week already in your head, or no?
I have a couple things. I have
do?
one thing. It's called Big Mouth. It is the newest Netflix original that's on Netflix that's about adolescence.
It's a series or a movie?
It's a series. It's a series.
Okay.
It's on my list, so I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, so
But
it may or
I've
may
been-
not be on your recommendation
Well,
list.
no, it will be, because you know what? I've been getting reviews from other people who have already
Really?
watched it, and I
Tay-Tay
like to
is
share.
shaking his head
I like
on
to
that,
share
so he
my.
might-
Approve. That's great.
I like to share
Yeah.
my opinions on that. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
What else? Yeah.
Stream
That's
this.
pretty much it. So I guess we're going to say who's been following us that we can give shout-outs to.
David Anton is our P1 as always.
David.
Anita Peak,
Patience, I love it.
Griselda Jimenez.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Scroll down.
Who else?
Scroll down. Scroll
hello
down.
to Alexis. Thank you
Yes,
for
that's
chiming
Alexis.
in.
Damian Habibi, thank you for tuning in. Nikki Lopez, Justin Kramer, Mary.
Hey, Justin. Hi, Justin.
Mary
Oh, and
Laterza.
Ashante, always tuning in. That's family right there.
Dwayne Jenkins.
Hi. Oh, Dwayne. Hi, Dwayne. He's a photographer, too. You know, once I figure out how we can get the LA fam to come down here, we're going to start getting our
Well, I started the
crowd.
way, so you guys have no excuse now.
Yeah, come on down. We just need to figure out, like, a guest room or something in the studio. Right? So who else do we got? We've got Dwayne Johnson. Or
Yep.
Dwayne Johnson. Look at that.
Dwayne The Rock
Yeah,
Johnson.
The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock.
Hi.
He
Email me.
smells what
Email me.
Goham is
Email me. I
cooking.
love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Oh, is that everybody?
That's everybody.
All right, that's everybody. We'll catch us next week. Same time, same place. TeTe, thank you so much for
You
coming
guys are
by.
great.
Thank
This is
you.
awesome.
Give your final
TeTe.
shout outs and make sure you do your shout outs of your social networks so they know where to find you.
Great. I'll
Currently,
start out
right
with
now,
that.
can they find you anywhere right now?
Great. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook fan, TeTe Musica, TeTe Music with an A, TeTe Musica. And thank you so much for having this. It was such a nice breath of fresh air to have the intelligent stuff you're talking about with the flavor. And oh my God, DJ Roscoe's amazing. Thank you so much. This was great.
Pleasure's ours.
It was. So we'll see you all next week. Roscoe, would you like to say goodbye at all? No? All right. We're signing off. We'll see you guys. This is Street Talk with the Swift Gang right here on GoHamRadio.com.
Giving opportunity, hope, and mentorship. GoHamRadio.com.